Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we'll be continuing our mod highlight series where we've got a rather new and exciting mod that's just recently been released. Empire Cult of Sigmar is a new mod which makes Volkmar the Grim have his own faction. No more will he have to start in the Imperial city of Reichland, instead he's been moved to the territory of Ostermark. Not only that, but this mod also presents new units, new mechanics and a new legendary hero. This is the Cult of Sigmar, not some regimental provincial army, but rather one of the most popular cults within the Empire being made into a playable faction. With faith and steel and a little bit of gunpowder, you must now strike out and purge the Empire of its enemies. Now there's a little bit of a theme here with this mod, where Ostermark has all but been destroyed, and now it is your task to reclaim the territory in the name of Karl Franz. But let's not waste any more time and jump right in. As with all my mod review videos, I'll be starting off a fresh new campaign in easy mode and easy battles. You'll begin your new campaigns in the Imperial province of Ostermark, well, better yet said, in what remains of the Imperial province, for the majority of the province itself has been overrun by the Skaven of Clan Creepus. Not only will you start off at war with them, but also with Azag to your east, and Sylvania to the south. You are at war with three rather large factions, and you have a large variety of different enemies. This will keep things fresh for you early campaign. You'll also notice that you have new units and a new legendary hero, but we'll get to them very soon. At the beginning you may think that the construction tab itself is very much the same. You will indeed have access to a new building, and that new building will produce new units. But that's not all the units that you can find here, as there are many other different units implemented through the mod which could be found in your baseline buildings. Through my opinion, I prefer this rather than adding in a bunch of new buildings. You can easily and seamlessly put in all the new units into different buildings already established for the faction. This will allow you to play at a more or less usual level as you would normally do with Imperial factions, without having to have the headache of deciding what to pick and what to remove. A legendary character implemented through this mod is that of a legendary sister of Sigmar. Bertha, I'm not going to even pronounce her last name in a fear of making a fool of myself. And yes, that's what I'm calling her. She is a melee powerhouse, with already a natural high ward save and baseline stats which make her quite potent on the battlefield. She is, in all intents and purposes, a take on a warrior priest, which more or less that's what the Sisters of Sigmar were. Stat wise, everything is well balanced and she is quite capable of handling herself on the battlefield. Her special skills have a variety of different uses. For example, not only can they make her quite the melee powerhouse, but can also benefit the province she is in, and also greatly benefit the melee capabilities of those in her army. Obviously you'll need to attach her to an army for this, but believe me, they are quite worth it. This is a hero that you don't want as an agent. Her special items themselves also make her quite powerful. For example, her amulet gives her a 20% bonus ward save, and also regeneration. Paired up with her natural ward save and magic resistance, and her ability to make enemy spellcasters have a greater chance to miscast, you'll want her front and center, especially if you know that you're going to be fighting magic heavy races. There is a new mechanic known as Faith, which is very much a carbon copy of the geomantic web. This seems to be a very popular mechanic, and with good reason I'd say, for modders to implement in their overhaul mods. As you can expect, the mechanic works exactly the same way as the Lizardmen geomantic web. You'll want to start capturing provincial capitals, which are linked to the ones currently owned by you. Doing so will offer increased provincial benefits when you start using your provincial bonuses. Of course, your capitals will also have access to a building which can further strengthen this, but I prefer the whole brute force route. One thing of importance to note here is that capturing the city of Mordheim in the name of the Empire will also provide a unique faction landmark. This is Sigmar's Rock, which gives you quite great bonuses to Untainted, which will be very useful should you decide to start fighting against the vampire counts. But the main reason you want this building is because you get access to a unique unit, the Order of the Merciful Sisters of Sigmar. This is, in all honesty, the main reason why I was interested in this mod. It's great to see a callback to such a long lost faction from the days of Mordheim Tabletop. Unfortunately, the Sisters of Sigmar did not really have that much of a lifespan in the Warhammer Fantasy Tabletop, and it's a shame because they were rather interesting. So it's nice to see an old school fan favourite get some representation in Total War Warhammer in the form of a unit. And before we go to check out the units, I just want to say once again how useful the faith mechanic is itself when building up new provinces, especially once you start striking down to the south. Now, what we'll be showing on screen right now are all of the units implemented throughout this mod, all of which are implemented rather well and are decently balanced when comparing them to other units already available in game. Visually, the units themselves look great, and those who are rather interested in older forms of Warhammer Fantasy lore may notice some names here when in regards to some of the units. There's a lot of throwback nostalgia throughout this mod, it's absolutely fantastic. A lot of the units implemented have battle prayers and so on, and you have to bear in mind that the Cult of Sigmar is essentially an army of warrior priests. So expect to be frontline and center in terms of damage. You're still more than able to recruit the normal Imperial units, but try it out. Try out just smashing your enemy lines with just nothing but faith and steel. Currently, it is important to note that all other Imperial factions can currently recruit all these different units. However, the modder has stated on his Steam page that eventually these units will only be specific for the Cult of Sigmar. During my playthrough off camera without recording, I did encounter one small bug, where I tried to put the generic legendary lord known to be the Count of Ostermark into the position as an elector count, and for some reason it got deleted. I'm assuming this is a bug, I'm not 100% sure, as the mod page itself does say that Ostermark is in ruins. This is a bug which happened to me 2 times when I tried it out. Bear in mind though that it's not really needed to have an elector count anyway, but other than that, I had no other issues as far as I can recall. Now, in regards to the mod itself, these are my final thoughts. I think this was very much needed. While I believe that Volkmar himself should probably stay in Reichland, this is purely because of thematic reasons, it does make sense for him to go on a sort of holy crusade. And let's be honest, the Empire campaign in general is kind of boring for Reichland and Solent. You're surrounded by fellow elector counts, which means that more than likely you won't be fighting them unless they secede. So being able to start in a province in the far east of the Empire, which not only has Skaven surrounding you, but also orcs and vampire counts, it gives you something to look forward to. You're not going to be basically stuck here until you can confederate with other factions. I'm not saying that the Imperial update was bad or anything, I'm obviously referring to the official update and not the mod, but it did make it slower, much slower to be able to play as the Empire. So at least this mod gives you an opportunity to be able to do something different. The Empire is a popular faction to be played, so I highly recommend this mod if you want a different playstyle and just a different experience. You'll still be stuck with the elector count format and so on, but at least now you have other enemies to look for rather than just waiting. As always with these mod reviews, should you want to check it out, you can find a direct link to the mod in the description below. I highly recommend it to anyone who likes playing as the Empire. And once again, if there are any mods that you'd like to see highlighted on the channel, you can always suggest one in the comments below, or you can join the official Great Book of Grudges Discord, where it's much easier to get in contact with me. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.